How do I get my husband to realize that he is great despite his addiction? Very simple.
Yeah, that's what a fantastic question. And what a fantastic person. I really appreciate questions like that. Generally, the questions we're receiving is how do I help my husband realize that he needs help, or how do I help my wife realize that she needs help? And I'll start there, then I'm going to move on to your question. An individual, needs to make that internal choice to get help uh, based off of their own desires. And the reason why that's so important is because what research has shown is when an individual goes in to get help without a desire for change. Now, desire can mean a lot of different things. And I call these the difference between internal and external motivators. An external motivator would be my spouse is threatening to divorce me if I don't get help. Therefore, I'm going to get help. Now, that's a powerful motivator, but it's still an external motivator. And those motivators tend to have very successful outcomes in the short term, but then we see the original issues come back up in the long term. When someone goes into their internal motivators, which is exactly what this question is addressing, which is I deserve to heal. I want to heal for me. I want to be better within my family system because that'll make me a better husband, a better wife, a better parent, a better family member. I'll move past this hazy place of addiction and be a more capable and connected individual. And that really comes as we work through our own personal shame. And so just the nature of your question is actually in and of itself effective in helping them see that. If you were to take that externalized approach, which is you do this or else, or those types of things, sure, and I'm not sitting here condemning anyone who has been there, because I think all of us have been there in one way or another where we've just had it with some of the issues that take place in our lives. But when you can come from that level of, I really want my spouse to see themselves as the excellent person they are and to stop beating themselves up, just helping them realize that their addiction is not who they are, that it's a part of their brain that has been put into a cyclical place of repetitive negative behavior, and that deep in their hearts, who they are is individuals who want to be sober. They just haven't found the right tools or the right motivation yet. And the more we can be there for individuals who really are struggling, as hard as that is sometimes, while keeping healthy boundaries, okay, that's important too, that really is what can help on our side. The two key principles I would teach here is A, to not use emotional force, to not use punitive punishment as a form for them to change. Those things can motivate a person to take steps, but they don't last, because the reasons behind change are because they're forced to change. This is why a majority of individuals, and I'm not calling addicts prisoners, but individuals who go to prison, most of them return to prison because the premise is punitive punishment. Now, some of these people who are robbing banks or hurting individuals, yeah, they need to have that type of lockup so that they can't hurt other people in those ways. But it doesn't create change inherently unless they're willing to go through a change process in the prison system. And it's very similar with our loved ones in addictions. In the emotional standpoint, they need to believe in themselves and find that internal desire, and the more support they have from those around them, that they're not being shamed, that they're not these individuals who can't heal, because we know that addicts can heal, and we see this every day. And to give them that hope and that confidence, that's the number one thing, is to not nail them to the ground forcing them to change. Number two is to have what we call a non-shame based mode of conversation, or compassion, empathy. to be able to be with them in their pain so that they feel confident in having someone who they can go to and talk about their triggers and talk about their shame and not feel shame built upon more shame. You know, if I go to someone and I say, man, I'm just really having a hard day and I'm really craving, you know, say I'm an alcoholic and I'm really craving alcohol, and the person says, man, how long have you been in recovery? 3 years? What's wrong with you? You should be better by now. That's more of a guarantee that I'm going to go get plastered than if someone were to sit down and say, yeah, that must be really hard. You know, I'm here for you. I'm here for you to talk to, whatever you need to talk about, you know. And I often call my office a shame-free zone. This is a place where people can just talk, and they're not going to be shamed. They're not going to be slammed on the head for the behaviors that they're participating in. But they have a safe place to talk through things and to be accountable. And when people can be accountable without shame, they begin to become confident and to love themselves and to heal.